Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. That's from a guy. He has been watching my channel for a few months now. He is divorced, father of a couple kids, I think a couple girls actually, business owner, successful business owner. And he shares his story about how years ago he got involved with a single MOM. And how ultimately he had to kick her to the curb for some very obvious reasons that typically happen with the single MOMs. However, you're going to see in the story, guys, that there was her situation actually was a little different than the usual stories. So my interpretation was because of that, he gave her a chance. And unfortunately, it turned out just the way they all do. So very important lessons there as that I give about the single MOMs. Be very careful. And in my opinion, honestly, if you're a relationship guy, just pick a gal that's single. While there are good ones out there, and they're rare, but there are, it just brings in potential for a lot of drama and turmoil in a guy's life. And the way he ends up, let's just say, discovering certain indiscretions is actually pretty amusing. And this is all about just red flags, paying attention to them, trusting your gut, etc., etc. And of course, good quality entertainment. Now, before I get into this real quick, I got an email from a viewer over in France who's a big fan of the channel. I don't have a lot of Frenchmen watching the channel, so I appreciate the Frenchmen that watch this and how my channel has helped him. And I wanted to share this real quick because I like to throw these in on occasion. This guy says, "Hi SSM. Sorry for my language. Sorry for my English. It's not my native language. I discovered your work about 3 months ago, and I watch several of your videos every day to catch up. I'm 36 years old, single, and I suffer from severe depression because I'm the father of an aborted child. Even if I was ready to become a single father, but the father's opinion is not taken into account by my country's law." Shocker. "And there's no structure or association to listen to men who want to keep the child, even if it means being in charge of the child 100% of the time. I suffer from loneliness, I'm overweight, and until now, I place women on the pedestal." He says, "You can give me a smack. Unfortunately, I have too few financial means to make me a simp. By watching so many of your videos in such a short time, the voice that tells me to move my ass, stop the junk food, and learn to be happy alone, but for wanting to be happy together is your voice." Well, that is my message, bro. And my message to all you guys, definitely for all you guys, get off your ass, take action, improve your lives. Stop eating junk food, stop eating garbage, make something yourself, and of course be happy on your own. You can't be happy, you can't expect other people to bring you happiness. And when you learn to discover happiness on your own, you're great, trust me. I got a job, so the financial problems are resolved. I recently started cardio. I'm fighting my addiction to junk food and PORN, and I'm learning a lot thanks to you. Good job, brother. Keep it up. See, guys, you just gotta sometimes just get off your ass and make things happen. Especially thanks to your other channel, They Did What, which made me realize that I was lucky enough to avoid some serious bullets with women. I had a few relationships in my life, but I never reached that moving in together level. I do still want to get married and have children. Smack. After what you know, you really want to do that? I still want to get married and have children, but I'm living in a country that prohibits paternity testing, unless it is the mother who requests it, or a judge 99% of the time to enforce the mother's demand. Yeah, well, a smack to your lawmakers that make that law. She can ask for the test, but a guy can't? That's absurd. But I'm not surprised. I know some of these rules of your country. It says here, if a man is caring for a child during 5 years, even if he discovers after that he's not the father, and the woman lied during all this time, according to the law of my country, it does not matter. So a man can't request a paternity test in his country, and even if he finds out the kid isn't his after a certain period of time, too bad, you got to pay. And people wonder why so many guys are walking away. All this made me rethink a lot about getting married, and I still want children, but the law forbids me to check if they are really mine. Anyway, God bless you and keep doing what you're doing. Well, bro, I appreciate you sharing a little information from your country. There you go, guys, from France. But I'm glad that both my channels are helping you out, and good for you. Keep at it with your job. Work hard to improve yourself, that maybe you can get a better job down the road. Avoid the junk food. Keep getting the exercise. Maybe start lifting weights. That's very important as well. And do what you can day by day to break your PORN addiction, and you're going to be okay. And as for marriage, I would rethink that one, brother. Okay, now on to the main story. This guy says, "Hello SSM. I found your channel several months ago, inspired by a similar lesson taught to me. I've been divorced many years and decided to remain single to focus on my business and raising my kids into independent adulthood. Good for you, bro. Focus on your purpose, and I'm sure that's brought you a lot of happiness. And I like how you said, raise my kids into independent adulthood. So many parents for years now have been raising their kids to be happy as opposed to preparing them for a very tough, harsh, competitive world. That's great. Parents want to be their kid's friend and be in their corner, but you got to raise them for a tough world. And given the choice of being a tough parent who your kids kind of think are an a-hole on occasion, or just being the cool parent and the kids are spoiled, irresponsible jackasses that can't do anything for themselves, better to be the tough parent. So good for you. As my business and children successfully grew, I was introduced by my brother through his friend to a beautiful young woman who had been widowed. Her husband had unfortunately died in a rare cancer in his early 30s. They had a newborn daughter before he passed. I was sympathetic, and we gradually became more than friends in time. So I want to take a moment here. She's a single MOM. In my opinion, it's one thing if you meet a gal and she's a single MOM, and yes, I have to say single MOM and spell that out like that because YouTube is that crazy. I'm not kidding. I've had videos flagged where I've said that. It's one thing if she's single in that situation because, say, her husband died from a disease, like right here, or maybe he died in the line of duty as a police officer, or he was in the military, or a firefighter. That's different, and hoping that they had a great marriage. Compared to the situations where she's a single MOM because she just keeps getting run through by Chad and Tyrone, she chooses the wrong guys, or she's very difficult in relationships and it's because of her and just bad situations. So right here you can see probably, I'm guessing, okay, her husband passed away, so this is not her fault, and giving that benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, you're going to see the same crap happens, even with the ones that he gave the benefit of the doubt to. The mother idolized her former husband and always spoke how great he was, to the point that I'm surprised she didn't have candles and photos in a dedicated room. I told her I'm not him and won't be, and she'd have to love me for my own strength. I sympathized and consoled her regularly. In retrospect, I believe she was partially using sympathy as a tool. You bet your ass she was. After seeing photos, I also honestly believe she married above her pay grade despite her natural beauty and fitness. Well, they're always going to aim for guys that are way better than them. That's the ideal situation. We became close, and I saw her as helpless and innocent. They're never helpless, and they're most certainly never innocent. Guys, never think that. Please, if you get anything from this video, get that. And just how us guys, we're no saints either. Let's be honest here. We were a couple for about 2 years. At the same time, my business was continuing to be successful. Well, good for you, which means obviously your business was more important than her. A lot of guys are getting a new relationship with a beautiful woman, and they stop making the effort in their line of work or in their business and put it all on her. One day she told me that a friend was also close to her daughter as a father figure and knew him just because I came into the picture. I was suspicious, but respected her daughter's connection and assumed the friend had pure intentions. Well, good luck with that. And if your gut told you something was wrong, he said here, I was suspicious, should have listened to it. Always trust your gut. It's your superpower, guys. I'm an active father myself, and I thought two men could be a stronger support for her daughter. Little did I know that more was going on. Gee, I wonder what. A few things I thought was strange. One, he didn't want to meet me, another supporting father figure. Two, he would often make surprise visits to see the daughter, but wouldn't leave the house until late, or so she said. Yeah, he's doing her. She's two-timing you. She's getting attention and validation and some loving from that dude, and probably also money to help out, and from you. One night she called saying he was outside banging on her door, asking him to let him in. My alarms went off. Since my home was half a mile away, I rushed over to confront him and get more details. He fled as soon as she told him I was coming, disclosing what kind of man he is. I'm 6 feet tall, 220 pounds. I'm at the gym regularly, but I'm no Superman. Well, you sound like a big dude to me. You could do some damage. He is an out-of-shape grocery cashier, but a former wrestler like myself. But his condition was financially and physically deteriorated. So not only is she obviously having something going on with this guy, also she gets her drama, right? Something was going on, she didn't like it, so she got to call you up to come over and confront this dude who was banging on her door at night, probably because he found out that she was probably with another dude or something, and can have you come be the hero and all that. So she's two-timing, she's cheating, she's probably using both you guys for resources, and she gets to get her little drama fixed too. Great girl. I asked her about the situation when I arrived. She pretended she did not know why he acted that way. I left cautious, confused, and suspicious, but I stayed with her. Smack. Bro, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I know you know this now, but I'm smacking your younger self. And he wrote here, I accept the smack. So you knew. A few months later, she canceled a planned date because of a headache. I thought nothing of it since it had happened before. I believe we had depth in our relationship. We have been on joint vacations together with our kids, boating, and beach trips. Also, our daughters were the same age and same names. The two are becoming friends. That's the tricky part. I mean, that's great the kids got along, but now, in times where you might cut things off, cut your losses when you see a situation because the kids are friends, that's an issue. You end up hanging on because of the kids. Classic story. The next morning, her neighbor called me and said another car was in her driveway all night. Must have been the guy who's the second father to her daughter. It fit the description of the guy friend's car. If it sounds strange for the neighbor to call, know that my business contacts live within our mutual neighborhoods. Also, they were keeping an eye out at the house for her and her daughter's safety. The neighbor's call was completely unexpected. I love that you got the neighbor on your side helping out. Once I confronted her about it, she confessed that it just happened. What do you mean it just happened? This dude's at your house all the time, and he's supposedly the father figure to your daughter. Or is he actually the father? Who knows? And I'm starting to wonder what really happened to her husband, who died mysteriously in his early 30s of a disease. Of cancer, so she said. I started reading between the lines on past awkward behavior. I recalled other nights that she canceled, so I asked her neighbor if she'd seen the car overnight in the driveway before. She said yes, several times. The neighbor had nothing to gain from lying. I honestly believe the neighbor got tired of seeing the musical chair she was playing with me and her guy friend. The neighbor and her husband are good friends to me until this day. Well, that's awesome. The neighbor tipped you off. You could have been seeing this pain in the ass for years. I mean, taking advantage of it. You didn't have the neighbor confirming some things. I broke things off stoically without emotion. I told her she could marry her loser if he's so important. I also told her that someday her daughter and past husband should be ashamed of her. I blocked her phone number and social media and told her never to reach out to me or my kids again. I truthfully explained to my children what happened. They were supportive and angry with her. I doubt she would explain the same to her innocent daughter, who we will all miss and hope to reconnect as she gets older. Extreme caution. Yeah, maybe you don't get in contact with the daughter when she's older. Now, I'm assuming this woman at this point is now in her 40s, and your daughters are obviously older. You know, yeah, when that girl becomes an adult, she's an adult, but that could just bring the mom back in your life, and you don't need that. I'm glad your girls were supportive. The mother, if she can be called that, tries to contact me regularly through mutual friends. Because her perception of you is that eventually you'll cave. That's her perception. When women have a certain perception of a guy, and if it's bad, it's very hard for a guy to get that, for her to change that. So she just figures she'll just bug you until you eventually cave. And she's probably used to getting her way with guys. I gave the same response and tell her messengers what she had done. Each were surprised as they were told it was my fault. Well, of course it's your fault. That's what always happens. Each would be upset when they knew they were lied to. So now she's losing her friends one at a time as they find out the truth. Go ahead and send me some more. I'm moving on, and thankfully success continues to follow me as I focus on my kids and my business grind. In 1 year, my youngest joins my others for college, and they're now adulting. I'll be moving to South America as my business is now online. I've lived abroad, and I'm bilingual for many early years. I'm so happy your business is doing great, and yeah, I think it's time for you to pick up and leave for a new adventure. That's cool your business is online. I, too, am in a situation where if I wanted to, I could pick up and do this anywhere in the freaking world. As long as I have my camera, my laptop, internet connection. That's all I need to do to run my business. Honestly, I should live in the cheapest and a nice part of this country, but the least expensive to make the biggest bang for my buck on the money I make. But I am getting the hell out of Massachusetts in the fourth quarter of this year, moving to Florida. So all my Floridian brothers, I'll see you soon. It says, thank you for all you do for the community. Awareness and healthy skepticism is needed in any relationship prior to marriage. Hopefully another country will respect my traditional values and I can find love again. If not, I just enjoy my margaritas on the beach and a stress-free life. Well, good for you, bro. And if you want to keep having a stress-free life, don't get married. If you want to do relationships, knock yourself out. Hopefully you find a traditional girl down there in South America, wherever that may be. But just be careful, because remember, I've been saying this since day one. Human nature is human nature. It doesn't make a difference where you live. It doesn't make a difference where you live on this planet, what the culture is, religion, education, wealth, the whole 9 yards. Men are men around the world, and women are women around the world. So just be aware that a lot of the crap you've dealt with and that I talk about in these stories happens everywhere. But I wish you the best in your move. I hope your daughters are doing great. Grow to be great women, not like these nut jobs out there nowadays. Keep them off social media. Keep them off. Make it aware that you say to your daughters, you end up on OnlyFans, we're freaking done. And I wish you luck with your business. I hope you have a great time and enjoy those margaritas. I have margarita every once in a while. I love them. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let this guy know what you think. And also, guys, you got a great story like to share, by all means, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I will when I get the chance. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.